Hey, are you ready to go? Joe and Randy's Texas Tea. Hey, you bitches and hoes, Joe and Randy's Texas Tea.
All tea, all shade, and it's Texas, man.
Joe and Randy's Texas Tea. Jingle, jingle, motherfuckers. I've been told that I'm not funny with my songs anymore. I will try to incorporate the funniness. You know, sometimes a bitch just ain't in the goddamn mood.
Oh, no.
Demanding motherfuckers, ain't you?
Oh, no.
I love you, but shit.
Everybody, welcome to Joel and Randy's Texas Tea. I'm Joel Tatum.
I'm Randy, and you know what? Fuck you, motherfuckers.
And
I'm kidding. I love y'all, but we don't need to know any more than that.
We do have a guest host, and you have heard him before. It is our friend David. Say hello, David.
Hello, David.
I almost said Randy. I literally had to think of his name.
It's called the roll call. You go through everybody you know until you get to that person's name that's right in front of you.
Exactly.
My mom does it to me all the time. Every time I'm home, she goes through my nephew, my sister's name, one who's no longer with us. Finally gets to me.
And where is home, Miss?
Where I am now? Or
where you are now.
My parents?
No, I'm talking about home as in where you live.
I live currently in Los Angeles.
Just to let the audience know, he does live in Los Angeles.
He's our Los Angeles connection.
I'm the correspondent from Los Angeles.
You know, you could be. See, we need to work on that because Roberta could be our girl on the street because she never shows up in here.
No, she does not.
She gonna have to be the girl on the street because the girl never darkens this motherfucking door.
Girl, you on the air? You want Roberta to hear that?
I do want her to hear it. That's part of the reason I'm saying it now.
Well, see, I'm West Hollywood adjacent, but in LA you're adjacent to everything.
I tell you what, in the second half of the show, why don't we give Roberta a call?
We will try to do that.
We'll try to give Roberta a call and see if she would like to be on the second half of the show. Just to say a few things.
Roberta is, by the way, my sister Robert, whom I've known my whole life practically. Just like Joel and David, we're all actually a group of friends who've known each other through the years for, oh my goodness. Between all four of us, there's got to be 100 years, girl.
I feel like Kenny Rogers' song should be playing underneath.
And thousands.
Oh, I like that song.
And thousands of sexual partners between all of us. We can start a small town with all the sexual partners.
And for me,
I suppose you're right. And guess what? We all still here. Praise the Lord.
Thank God.
Yes, we are all still here.
Not for lack of trying, but we ain't dying.
Well, when we have to go on that, if you were to create a town based on the people you've been with, which part of the town would you alienate completely? I would have to ghost a certain part of town. I would.
What? Now, you know what?
What should we divide it north, south, east, and west?
Yeah, north, south, east, west.
Okay.
A witch for every corner.
We need to have practical names for all those corners.
Or maybe we could have letters.
We could do letters.
We could, like the LGBTQIA. S. What does S stand for? Satisfactory?
Satisfactory.
Satisfactory.
I can't wait until they start throwing emojis into this, and then I'm like, how am I supposed to say an emoji?
How
do you say an emoji?
I don't know. You know what? It's just, I think there's just too much.
It is too much.
There's too many abbreviations too. It's like it takes me when a young person texts me out. I'm like, what does UVZ mean?
Oh, girl, what is UVZ?
I don't know what UV. No, UVW. I'm sorry. Which it took me a long time to figure out. Oh, you're very welcome. I think though. I'm not absolutely certain.
I thought you were talking about another extension to the LGBTQIA. Plus who the hell is I and A?
We could have a UVW town because
wait, I know who I is.
Wait, hang on. Let me finish this train of thought. UVW town would be people who should be thankful that you did have sex with her.
Well, then that would be the B section of town.
That would be the B?
Yes, that would be the V.
So the I stands for intersex, and the A stands for asexual.
Asexual.
Y'all can stay at home.
Oh my God, they're doing incel now?
No, they're intersex.
Intersex is having both genitals, like hermaphrodite.
And bless their hearts.
They call it intersex now.
But very few people are born that way.
Only 1% of the world's population.
Jamie Lee Curtis is the only one I know of.
No, but they took care of that at her
birth.
They took care of that at her birth.
Hasn't she ever talked about that? I think she's
no,
actually
not
kind of
really.
cool with it.
Yeah, she is cool with it, but I don't think she's ever talked about it. But you know what? These people, bless their hearts, it's not their fault they're intersex.
Yeah,
so
it's at birth.
That's nothing to joke about.
They probably just don't talk about it.
But okay, that being said, that it's nothing to joke about. Let me just say this.
Okay.
Y'all can hang out with the straights, can't you? You got both parts. You can hang out with the straights. Y'all need to get your ass off of our list of letters.
Well, how about this?
Because the straight people don't have any goddamn letters.
They will.
We got all the goddamn letters. You can't have any.
I agree.
Intersex, gone, girl. Get you some over in the straight place.
Go to the alt. They'll be in the alt straight section.
Thank you. And the question, bitch, ask a question to the straight people. Do not ask any goddamn questions over here. Don't nobody want to hear your question. Don't nobody want to get killed behind your ass, not knowing who you are, taking them home, letting them suck your dick, and then stabbing their asses to death.
Right.
And the bisexuals, fuck you anyway, okay?
Well, because that's an alt straight, I would say.
That is an alt straight.
Or it's kind of an alt gay too.
Now,
the other, I don't know.
Now, as a community, I mean, you know, we try to include everybody. Everybody gets a participation trophy in our group. Everybody gets a participation trophy.
We don't have to settle for these.
We don't want anybody to be excluded, but
we'll give you the appreciation trophy, but it may come with some shade.
Yes.
Oh, it's going to come with a lot of shade. You talking about gay men here.
But you bitches need to find a home with the straights. I'm tired of the straight people skating around getting away with murder. Bitches don't have no kind of constraints at all. I'm not saying that y'all are constraining us. I'm simply saying, you bitches fuck with the straight people and leave us alone, please.
We have enough mess on our own.
We have enough shit going on. We don't need y'all.
Randy's gonna have our Instagram blowing up.
And look, I'm asexual. I don't even know what to say. Except
you better be careful. Somebody asexual.
I know.
Yeah, you don't fit in any category. Just stay home.
And I'm not scared. I said I don't know what to say.
No. You say go ahead and spore. Because that's where you're going.
I didn't say it.
Because you're asexual. Spore. Go ahead. Have fun. Spore in front of your own computer screen. And keep some antibacterial wipes handy. Oh, he zipped his lip. He gave the international sign for lip.
Lord have mercy. I'm not saying nothing. I'm just saying y'all could be part of the straight community, but the straight community, see, they're not having it.
That's true. You're not going to find a group of letters behind the straight community.
Motherfuckers get away with everything, don't they?
Y'all can just have heterosexual and y'all are done.
Yeah.
Y'all expect lesbians and gays to carry everybody.
Oh, and if you have a baby, you're very extra special. At least you think you are.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Your children are the most precious things on the planet.
To
blah,
you.
Blah, 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 blah. They're only precious to you.
I hope your baby grows up to be insexual, which is non-sexual. And then there's no category at all. So you got a baby in limbo. I hope you're happy.
Well, usually, what I find, people who just kind of continually make excuses for their children, are the worst people in the world.
Oh, yeah.
It's one thing whenever you know your child's doing something wrong, you go, well, you're going to pay for it. That's what my parents did. There's cause and effect. If you do something bad, this will happen.
You know what gets me, and we're going to get back to the LGBT thing. We just veered off a little bit. You know what gets me is the fact that I'm listening to people our age talk about how all these millennials are entitled, and how all these millennials are this and that. And I have to remind them once again, y'all raised them that way.
Exactly.
Y'all were why are you blaming the kids? They didn't grow up by themselves. They had parents.
I know.
You were their parents.
But
You raised them that way.
You know, I think the reason why people say, "Oh, we hate the millennials," is because they are afraid of the future.
Yeah, exactly.
They've got future fear. They realize that they screwed up. They raised them the wrong way. Now these kids don't know what they're going to college. They have outrageous debt. They're not even looking to buy homes anymore. They're not getting married because all you bitches got divorced. You've got like 15 different other families. And
Yeah, exactly.
other kids with other people. So these kids don't know where they belong. So you got to understand they all have PTSD because of your fighting and you're going around.
Oh yeah.
So don't look at us. We're the ones who have to kind of fix the things that you got wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? You know, so I've got friends who are millennials. They're great. They're smart.
Yeah, exactly.
They can look at my phone and know exactly what's wrong with it without even going into the settings. You know, it's like they're preternaturally disposed to knowing what the fuck is going on the internet.
I love millennials too because I have so much technology in my house, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I need to know what's going on constantly.
Yeah.
I need to keep up with what's going on, and who better to ask
Then a millennial.
than a millennial? They tell me who's hot right now. They tell me what's going on the computer, what pages I should be reading, this and that. Because one, we have a show to do,
Right.
and we talk about gay culture as older adults and how we view it. So not knowing what that is would make this show ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I love the fact that millennials are future aware.
Yeah.
But we raised them. So any of the mistakes that they made, we taught them that. When we sent them to college, we told them,
You're going to have a career.
you're going to have a career when you get out of college. And then when they realize that career, I make more as a waiter than half of the millennials who got college degrees and working in professionals.
And they got to pay off that college loan, which will take them until they're about our age now.
Yeah, I'm 51 years old. I have $5,000 left on my student.
Oh my God.
That's how long this has been going on.
But it started with us, and we're still paying it off.
Yeah, but I'm still paying off my student loans. I feel your pain.
Somebody needs to go to trade school.
I feel your pain.
Shit.
And yes.
Become a goddamn plumber. What the hell is wrong
Our
with
age
y'all?
told them, you don't want to work. You don't want to be a bus driver.
Right.
You don't want to be a garbage. You don't want to work
Right.
in construction or anything.
Garbage men make $20 an hour, bitch.
You go to college.
And then they're deflated when they get out of college.
Yeah, exactly.
So then they're going to be on your couch for 3 or 4 years.
Exactly.
Or they're going to go on some app and find someone else's couch they could be on for 3 or 4 years.
$20 isn't that much an hour these days, but it used to be. But garbage men make about $20 an hour, which ain't bad for
But
a
they
garbage
get
man.
fantastic benefits. They get
Yes,
bonuses.
indeed, girl. Don't stop the benefits.
There's still
Do
a
not
need
stop.
for press people. There's still a need for people who do road construction,
Yeah, exactly.
house construction.
Everybody can't go to
Plumbers,
college.
bitch. A plumber makes a fortune.
Yeah. Everybody can't go to college.
Right.
Our generation of parents said,
Electrician.
will look at you and go, you're not going to college.
Yeah.
You're going to go to trade school. I've seen my parents told my brother, I have seen your grades. You either going to be a mechanic or because you're really good with your hands, you need to do something technical because you're not going
Mechanics
to
make a
college.
whole lot of money.
Well, I fall into the category of some college. I didn't graduate. I just went, screw this, I'm going to New York.
Yeah, I did. That's what I qualified to as some college.
Yeah.
I just didn't like college.
I qualify as no
I honestly
You know
did
what,
not like college.
I aced everything that I wanted to take in the profession I wanted to be in. But like the basics, like math, I walked into that college algebra class, and honestly, it was like hieroglyphics. I was like, I know how to add, I know how to subtract. Why the hell do I need to know this other crap? I'm not going into a technical field. You know, I can play a mathematician, but and I'll do my research. But for understanding it fully, It'll never happen.
Okay, so I'm going to tell this. I didn't take the class. I read the synopsis of the class, and I wanted to take this class at HCC. It is called The History of Math, where you don't do a lot of math. You just learn about the history of math. And I'm like, that's me. Because stepping into an algebra class was like looking through a maze. I'm like, I have no idea about any of that stuff that you wrote on that board.
Yeah.
I know nothing. In my literature class, we could talk about Chaucer. We could talk about Bacon. We could talk about English authors. We could talk about American authors. Bam, right on history class. Bam, right on.
And you know what's so great is you don't always have to read all those awful books.
No,
you don't. Those awful books.
No.
Damn those books.
You know, like I really want to read Thackeray whenever it's really nice outside.
Dear millennials, y'all do have it a little bit easier. See, we had to work to cheat. We had these little yellow books.
Spark Notes.
Cliff's Notes.
Cliff's Notes.
We had Cliff. We didn't have Google
or Wikipedia.
We had Cliff's Notes.
Wikipedia.
And they were right. And you know the funny thing is that your teacher told you never to use those. Yeah. You are not to use those level. But they're right in the library next to the books that you're supposed to read.
They wanted you to suffer.
They wanted you to suffer through.
I was a library aide. I used to help people get those Cliff Notes together all the time when I wasn't asleep somewhere. Like I used to. Girl, I was the library aide, and I used to sleep in the audio-visual room because it had its own air conditioner and everything. Girl, I used to go down there and jack that temperature down to 60. Lay on a big old desk and just snooze. Because the librarian was 100 years old. And she'd say, Randy, I want you to get your cart and I put those books wherever the hell I wanted to.
You confused a lot of
every goddamn day. Those books were wherever the hell I wanted to put them. And then I would go and lay down and sleep for the rest. I was in that class for 2 hours. I worked for 30 minutes, putting the books right back up on the shelf wherever the fuck I wanted to. And then I went to sleep for the rest of the time.
Well, see, I have this thing about famous authors. Find out what drug or drink that they normally had, and have that when you're trying to read their books. You understand it better. And then, you'll forget that you tried to read it.
You know what? I want to say this to Randy, because you have now explained something that had always bothered me when I was a kid. When I would go into the library and I had to look for a certain book.
Oh, that the library doesn't give a shit.
I couldn't find the book, and then I would be walking around asking all. The one time I had 3 librarians looking at the same section for one book. One book. And somebody on the other aisle said, "Oh, I found it. It was in with the comic."
Oh, and don't go to the card catalog, because guess what? I fucked that shit up too.
I needed the book.
Don't go to the card catalog, girl, because I put those cards where the fuck I wanted to as well.
I'm looking for a book on 18th century poets from England, and it's in the comic book section. Because lazy ass queens like this was sleeping in the office instead of putting things in the proper place. Bitch, I will slap.
And don't go to the microfiche, because bitch, that's fucked up too. I'm telling you, I fucked up that library for 2 years.
See, so you should be glad that you have Google. This is what we had to deal with. Google was invented so that y'all didn't have to go through what we had to go through.
All that pain. The Dewey Decimal System makes no damn sense. It doesn't. Who sat there? Who was on crack when they came up with that thing? It's ridiculous.
I know Dewey the Duck, but I don't know the Dewey Decimal System.
Because he was just a library aide. He never learned it.
He just never.
I didn't give a shit.
I hope that you actually put 120 Days of Sodom in children's literature, because that would be a sight to see.
There were no children. It was high school.
I went to your high school.
In the town I went to, you couldn't read Judy Blume, girl. It was a very conservative little town.
It was a very conservative.
Back in the old days.
I visited in high school.
You could not read Judy Blume without a consent form from your mama.
I went with him
because they were talking about the period.
A natural thing that happens to women is
period. They were talking about the period, girl. You better not read Judy Blume. That is pornography.
A period.
And
That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Girls have periods. It's just a natural thing.
Right. Are you there? Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret, indeed. God said you gonna bleed.
Oh no,
you gonna bleed, and other people are gonna say, she's in a bad mood. She must be bleeding.
She must be bleeding or not bleed.
You know, and for women, that women can't actually have an honest, angry emotion without us automatically thinking, "Oh Lord, they're on their period."
I know, but the thing is, they do use it quite often, and there are lots of women who'll say, "Oh no, I'm fine. I just really wanted to not work today or to commit to this today." So I just said, "It's that time of the month. I don't want to show up your baby's christening. Screw your baby."
See, this is why if most of the bosses were gay, if most of your bosses were gay, they would go, "Oh, bitch, I don't care about you being on your period. You get your ass to work." I'm not.
Or you get the other girl who's always like going, "Oh, yeah, I understand totally. Oh, please go. You must. I can't be around it."
No, you can't have. If your boss is gay, you try to use that excuse. You are not going to use the period excuse to get out of.
Oh no!
Did you get your period twice in a month?
I know.
I had this bitch.
I've been keeping you on your cycle. I know when you're on your period. You better get your ass to work.
Well, that's the wonderful thing about periods, if we will allow that. All these women in the office are going to be on the same cycle at the same time. You know, it's just the way that nature works.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I managed a restaurant. This restaurant I managed years ago.
Randy, watch your step.
I will. This girl called me up and she said, and her name was Narelle, and I hope she's listening to the show. She had said, she talked like this. Hey.
Oh, she had a voice.
Oh yeah, oh girl, honey, that wasn't the only thing that was deep on the grill.
Oh.
But anyway, she said, hey, I've got a really, really fucking heavy flow today. I'm like, oh, girl, that's enough. I don't want to hear that. You are excused. All women aren't ladies.
Was she like Peppermint Patty?
Yes, girl. Well, she was straight. She wasn't a dyke like Peppermint Patty.
She was just a real rough girl.
She'd smoked a lot of dick and cigarettes. Yes, and Miss Thing one time came up to me and told me, I feel really bad. I said, why? She said, because. I can't do her voice because it makes me cough. She said, because you know that really hot guy I brought in the other night and showed and let you meet? I said, yeah. She said, well, I let him fuck me. I said, good. I hope you had a good time. She said, no, he didn't use a condom. I said, girl, that's not good. You could get some kind of disease or something. She said, well, that's not all. I said, what? She said, I've got warts. I said, what? I said, you could go to jail behind that.
Oversharer type.
And yeah. And then she said, oh, and I also have chlamydia. I said, bitch, you are going to prison. Warts and chlamydia?
That was a melting pot of vice down there.
That was her, though. But that was the employee I was dealing with. So sometimes people can call in and say they got their period and talk like she did, and you're lucky if you just get a girl who says, I'm on my period. Not heavy flow, chlamydia, and warts chick.
I would like to say this to the audience. Dear lesbian audience.
Lesbians?
Randy said the word dyke.
I did?
Oh,
yeah,
you
Randy
did.
said the word dyke, so you now have permission to use the word.
When did I say dyke? Peppermint Patty?
Yeah, before
Peppermint Patty is a dyke.
Well,
lesbian community, once again, you are allowed to use the word fag if you want to.
Lesbians know what a dyke is.
That is our way of apologizing. You may use the word fag if you
Dykes
like.
know what they are.
Use the word fag. Every time he says dyke, I'm going to tell you use the word fag.
Forgive me.
Oh, did y'all talk about the Kevin Hart
Lesbians,
controversy?
please forgive me. Y'all know I don't mean no harm.
Did y'all talk about
I'm
the
just
Kevin
joking.
Hart?
Well, I would like to. Well, we're about to go on break here in a minute, so I would like to, because we got
Table that.
way off track.
Yeah.
Let's go back let's end the LGBTQ thing. I want to say this real quick.
Please.
Politically, I would like for something that represents the entire community. I think
Right.
the whole using all these letters is ridiculous. So
Right.
we need, now, it's been suggested using the word queer to
I wouldn't mind
describe
going-
all of us in the community. I actually like that idea.
I like it too.
I actually do like that idea.
I like it a lot.
And we own
actually.
queer.
Mm-hmm.
Because gay implies
We
happy,
didn't
and a
used
lot
to
of
own
us bitches
queer.
are not happy.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't used to own queer, but we do own queer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And to keep all that business together, why not?
Mm-hmm.
Queer.
Exactly. I think I love it.
Yeah. Because gay
It was
like I
a
said,
derogatory term for us back in the day.
Oh,
Yeah.
And now we can take the power back from it and own it and make it.
Actually, you know who did already own it was
Mhm.
William S. Burroughs. He
Mhm.
wrote a book called Queer.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, maybe we should thank him for taking that for us.
Yeah, exactly.
Because, he went through a crazy journey to get to where he
Mhm.
felt comfortable about
Mhm.
being
Mhm.
a homosexual male.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
So, lesbians, which you are already part of our community anyway,
Right.
so it's always been gays and lesbians.
Right.
We've always been frenemies
Right.
for thousands of, we've been frenemies for thousands of years.
Well, you have to admit
We-
it's true.
Well, listen, it's on y'all though. You know, you lesbians do
Oh.
not like us. Y'all don't treat us well, and you know it.
That's true.
We have been frenemies.
I have been treated poorly by someone.
I've been
But-
treated poorly by some. No,
and
that's
I've
not true.
had
I'm
great
just
time,
kidding.
I've had great times with lesbians. So
I've had
Well,
great
there's some
times
great
with
lesbians.
lesbians too.
I know some problematic
that's why I
lesbians.
use the term frenemies, because we are frenemies.
Yeah.
But it's y'all's fault,
Mhm.
bitches. Don't even try.
I always have a lesbian's back. I mean, I
Exactly. We always still have your back.
Yeah,
No matter
always.
what. As
We are all family. But
yeah, we're all family. We got your
Yeah.
back. But sometimes we don't like y'all. And
Yeah.
sometimes y'all don't like us.
Exactly.
Y'all know y'all started.
And I think that's
Right.
the best relationship two people, a man and a woman can have. That's honestly the honest God truth. That's the best relationship a man and a woman can have.
Well, they used to call them lavender
Mhm.
marriages.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas she was gay, so was he. But that was back in
Mhm.
the 50s and before.
Yeah, and they had to do what they had to do, girl.
And people suggest in Hollywood that it's still going on.
Mhm.
Not so sure all the time, but
Mhm.
you know.
And I also want to include the bis. But I'm talking about
No.
the ladies. I'm not even going to talk about the men because I ain't got time for all of that. I'm talking about the bi ladies. You're still kind of lesbian, but still,
Yeah.
you're still kind of in the lesbian pool, so that's fine.
Well,
Are transgender people?
If you want to be a bi man,
Mhm.
or frankly, if you want to be a bi woman,
Mhm.
y'all have to have the guts of your conviction and
Mhm.
step your asses over on the straight side.
I've known a couple of truly, what I feel like are truly bisexual, right in the middle
Mhm.
of the Kinsey scale men. You know, they're rare. They
Mhm.
are out there. I've known guys that have also just been gay,
Mhm.
and they've really loved the girl that is their fag hag, so to speak.
Mhm.
Even though I think that term is something that
Yeah,
people
we
don't
don't
like.
use- we don't use that term on this
term
show.
on this show.
But
Mhm.
there have been, that relationship has changed. It did happen to a very good friend of mine.
Mhm.
And then after they broke up rather acrimoniously,
Mhm.
he went back into the male side, full tilt boogie man. I mean, he just couldn't get enough.
Mhm.
And he went on
I
one
don't-
marriage to another.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't want to waste my time with a bi man bashing session simply because everybody knows how we
No, we're not. No, we're
Yeah,
done with
I
that.
wanna
We're done
waste-
with that.
Yeah, we want to be done with that. I still want to include. You are still included under
Not
the
to me.
LGBT rainbow, and you always will be.
Y'all
But
need to go to the streets.
You're
as far
talking
as I'm
honest feelings
concerned.
here, so
Well, I've known people, I mean,
Mhm.
the bi men I've known, going back to that, just to defend them a little bit,
Mhm.
is when they're in a committed relationship with a man or a woman,
Mhm.
they were in a committed
Mhm.
relationship.
that I do understand.
Yeah.
That I completely.
Those are not the bi men that I used to date.
Well,
Yeah, those guys-
That's where I come from, and that's why I'm a little bitter, because those bitches,
Mhm.
selfish motherfuckers.
Mhm.
Well, and there's also those guys that are, the
Well, actually,
conveniently gay ones.
not selfish, narcissistic is what they are.
'Cause there's guys that would approach me full, and especially in school, they've had like 3 and 4 marriages.
Mhm.
I don't even know. I mean, so I know there's somewhere on the Kinsey scale. I don't know exactly
Mhm.
where, but there's probably still doing it.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
anyway, don't know if that is really considered bisexual or just what, but let's lump it into bisexual and call it a day.
And I want to ask Randy a question. Because
we can call the bisexuals a lump. Lumps are also
really
called tumors.
Randy's honest opinion about this. We are gay men.
We are.
Should we talk more, when we talk about the transgender community, should we talk more about trans men or trans women?
Oh, we're going to have to talk about that after the break.
You want to talk about that after the
Yes.
break?
That's a big topic.
That's a big topic.
Okay, so I want to put us on a break, and we will be back in a few minutes. Before we go on break, once again, we're on Spreaker, iTunes, iHeartRadio, and a bunch of other locations. You can reach us at Joel and Randy Show 1 on Instagram, Joel and Randy Show 1 at Gmail, our email if you're still doing that. Or you can go to our Facebook page, Joel and Randy's Texas Tea. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
The expression virgin, previous to maybe the last few hundred years, actually was completely a spiritual term, and well, maybe going back more than a few hundred years, but essentially it's describing the purity of the mother light within that which is Omega.
Erotica, romance, erotica, romance. Another bad weekend. I'll be my mistress tonight. I'm gonna get into my pants. I could go out dancing, or maybe romancing, but I don't expect it. I'm always rejected. Wouldn't do much good at a pub or a party, because I'm neither tough nor arty. Another week without having my way, another week without having a lay. As usual, I've drawn a blank. No one's home, I'm gonna have a I'm gonna get into my pants. Erotic, erotic, put my hands all over my body. Erotic, erotic, put my hands all over my body. Erotic, erotic, put my hands all over my body. Erotic, erotic. When I get that feeling like I need sexual healing, there's a certain satisfaction and a little bit of semen. I'm chaste and well behaved, but I didn't choose it. It's because the one I love thinks I'm a loser. Given up on being sexually free, so I drink and watch TV. Hope I didn't get too tanked, or I won't be able to have a I'm gonna empty out my glands all over me. Erotic, erotic, put my hands all over my body. Erotic, erotic, put my hands all over my body. Erotic, erotic, put my hands all over my body. Erotic, erotic.
You have to think about how to do it. You have to it takes energy just to prepare for and commit the act. And the person who is very depressed doesn't have that energy.
Major Video, the place for major releases. Every time.
Hands all over my body.
A few minutes, because we went a little.
I tripped over a wire.
We went a little over on the break time. We got into an interesting conversation.
They're trying to kill me.
But
I tripped over a wire.
Back to the big part of the conversation, because Randy has an answer to what we asked before the break.
Right.
Should we, as gay men, be talking more about trans men or trans women?
What you want to talk about?
You said you. Oh my God! You were the
Oh
one
no,
who
I
said
didn't
that.
have an opinion. I said that this subject should come on after the break.
And it's after the break. So what's
So here we are.
So here we are.
I have an opinion, of course.
Okay.
My opinion is Why not talk about both?
Okay.
Well, now here's the thing.
I mean,
May I say that? Here's
you
the
can say
thing.
anything you want to.
We as gay men, we talk about.
What are we saying about them? That's what I want to know.
We talk about trans women all the time.
Oh, I get it.
All the time. I mean, literally all the time. We talk about trans women all the time. To the absolute exclusion of trans men, which I find to be odd.
Well, I can tell you one reason,
Mm-hmm.
and it's very simple. And it's a no harm, no foul reason.
Mm-hmm.
Girl, trans women have fashion,
Mm-hmm.
just like women have fashion.
Mhm.
Right.
You know, there are all kinds of shows about women's fashions,
Mhm.
and trans women, girls, some of them rag, and you want to concentrate on the rags.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about
Mm-hmm.
transsexuality as much as it is fashion,
Mm-hmm.
because there's only so much you can do with men's fashion.
That's very true.
It is, you know.
But
Mm-hmm.
when I was on a dating site back 10 years ago, before I met Keith,
Mm-hmm.
there were some trans men that I just feel like they weren't as visible
Mhm.
as the female
Yeah, exactly.
transgenders.
It's
were.
not actually. It's not until just a few years ago that they started to become visible. Because
Right.
honestly, as gay men, how many times in our past have we ever talked about trans men? None.
None.
I can't remember one conversation where we talked about trans men.
And here's another reason. Trans women
Mhm.
can't shut the fuck up saying they're trans women.
Well, that is
Trans
true.
men don't talk about it.
Right.
No, it's the truth.
It's
Trans
true.
women, any goddamn trans woman will tell you she's trans.
Even if you
within
had no
the
idea.
first 5 seconds
Exactly.
you meet her.
Mhm.
She will say, I'm trans, and guess what? I'm wearing Louis Vuittons.
It's like, well,
And I got them on discount.
Mhm.
but that always
But,
makes
you know-
you want to go, okay, did you have the surgery, though?
Did you have the surgery to tell me about the
Right.
surgery? Because you're supposed to be a goddamn woman now.
Right.
Because women don't go around saying, guess what? I'm a woman.
Right.
So trans men don't say it because it's a non-issue.
Right.
I am a man.
Mhm.
Well, see, I didn't even...
Thank you.
I'll be honest with you. I didn't even really think in the realm of it until I saw a
Mhm.
Buck Cherry movie. Buck
Mhm.
Cherry is a trans man
Yeah.
who still has a vagina
Yeah.
and has sex with
I
believe extensively
saw
with these straight men.
I saw his documentary.
Yes, I
I
do too.
completely forgot about that. I saw his documentary a few years ago.
Yeah, I saw it too.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, there's been the every now and then a news story will pop up
Mhm.
about a trans man
Mhm.
who still has a uterus
Mm-hmm.
giving birth.
But trans men do not
there is a trans man
care
who
if you know if
won
they're
his
trans.
first boxing
Yes.
They don't
competition
want
in
you now.
Mexico.
Yes.
So Randy's absolutely correct. When trans men,
change. It's done.
It's done. They're men.
It's over.
They're
Right.
men.
Right.
Mhm.
Even if they
Damn.
don't have the bottom surgery,
Mhm.
they're still men.
Mm-hmm.
You brought up that boxer, and I had
Mm-hmm.
a fun little. Okay, I can still use it. I had a fun little teaser for that particular story, which is, girl, Vienna sausage is being served with punch.
Oh my!
And about trans women, we were going to talk about Miss Spain, honey.
By the way,
And we
trans
can
men,
still talk
y'all
about
needed
Miss
that
Spain.
joke. Y'all certainly needed that joke.
Yeah, but and Miss Spain, honey, she's serving Latina fish realness, honey.
Mm-hmm.
And we need
she
to talk
has-
about her.
She has a stop, girl. It's called a volcano stop. She walks that runway,
Uh-huh.
stomping her feet just down that runway in those heels, those clunky looking heels,
Uh-huh.
that red dress.
Uh-huh.
That bitch was on point.
Oh my!
Mm.
I didn't see that.
point.
I did not see that, but I heard about it.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-mm.
so. But still,
There were drag
they will not
queens
accept a trans woman.
gagging.
They will not accept a trans woman
Mm-hmm.
doing Victoria's Secret.
Mm-hmm. And this fish walked that runway like nothing in the world.
She was serving fish,
She
girl.
was serving fish.
For real.
And it was Piranha Girl because she was serving it. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, well, I got to bring some. I don't know if y'all talked about this. We don't have to, but did y'all ever talk about the whole Kevin Hart?
We did on last week's show.
Okay, well then never mind.
We did on last week's
I just
show.
wanted to say that I understand, doing comedy, and comedy is very much for straight people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you do feel a little alienated there.
Mm-hmm.
But, so I tried to always keep my sets away from sexuality. And it was always it was all situational and, uncomfortable comedy, which is my life. But I understand the jokes and who your audience is. But yes, there are people that are incensed and, who watches the Oscars. It's gay men and women. And he's, he always made fun of both in his set.
But like I told Joel last week, he's actually threatening violence toward his child.
Yeah, it's not fun.
That's more about violence toward his child and him being a horrible parent than a joke.
Well, I mean, he threw an insensitive birthday party for his child. This is not a man who's in touch.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Cowboy and Indians. Okay. And it's like he's begging you to forgive his ignorance.
Yeah, exactly.
So you get up in the Oscars and you tell nothing but bags and women jokes, you're going to lose all your audience.
Yeah, exactly.
So I understand them firing him.
No, he resigned. He didn't.
No, he resigned.
Oh, he resigned. He got the job, and then he resigned.
He said that he had apologized enough, and then he apologized again, but that wasn't an apology, and so.
Well, then he's going to be in bargain basement movies. He's not going to open wide release anymore.
No. Amazingly enough, his comedy career ain't gonna. He's not gonna do.
We've never gone to his comedy shows.
In this climate, I'm not so sure.
No,
I'll reserve my judgment until the next.
He will be.
But Night School was a flop.
He'll be fine. He'll be fine.
I think Night School was a flop. I don't know.
I have no idea, and I didn't even think about that movie until you.
I think it was open.
I'm like, when is this movie coming out?
See, I just don't find him funny. I never did. When I heard that he was going to be the host, I was like, ugh. They couldn't find anyone else.
The sad thing is that he dreamed about being an opening host for the Oscars for years.
Dream on.
But you kind of.
But Jimmy Kimmel was so good.
Nobody wants to do it. And by the way,
they don't get paid anything.
$25,000 is all they get paid
in fame. But I mean, they are being seen by millions of people.
But by the way, Randy, you kind of reported falsely. There actually will not be a host.
I know. I know. I had heard it.
They've done that before, though.
On the radio. I had heard that Megan Mullally was going to do it. And no, it didn't happen. Megan Mullally would still be a good host.
She could sing, too, which would have been great.
I was all
Neil Patrick Harris was so good, Anyway, they've done this before. This happened in the 80s. I remember it. Like, they only had their announcers were famous people. Kathleen Turner went up there. Whoever was famous at the moment. And it bombed. And they ended up having to need a host the next year. You need a host.
You need to have a host.
But, Maya Rudolph and Tiffany Haddish got up there and did a little bit. That was freaking hilarious.
Yeah, it was.
Why didn't they hire the two of them?
That would have been
because
amazing.
Tiffany Haddish shows up for the drop of an envelope for anything. She would have loved to have done
I love
that.
Tiffany Haddish.
She's hilarious.
They would have been hilarious together on the show. Why didn't you think of that?
Well, it's not too late.
It's not too late. Make it happen.
I don't know how
Dear
to make
Oscars,
it happen.
make that happen. I don't care how many listeners that we have. Spread. If it's two of y'all, spread the word.
Well,
like we talked about earlier in another conversation, it took two people to start this stuff. So start it.
Well, you know what? I'll post it on social media and hope it takes off.
Exactly.
And just show that bit from the Oscars because they were hilarious together.
You should do that.
I think I will.
I think you should.
I'll do it from this end.
Okay. Well, let's start. Well, I don't know what
we can do it on Instagram.
Do it through Instagram. We have to do a hashtag. What would the hashtag be?
Hashtag Maya and Tiffany. Simple as that.
There you go. Let's make it happen, and then show the clip. Because I thought it was the best thing.
Oh, I don't know how to do that.
Well, I think it's all probably posted online. Just Google it, and I'm sure somebody already put it on YouTube.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we can do that.
And just show the clip, just do a link, and say, make this happen. I mean, it's supposed to be the year of the woman, right?
Why
That's
not?
two.
The year of the woman.
And,
That's two. You got two.
You have a biracial woman,
And-
a black woman.
Mm-hmm. What gay wouldn't love to see that?
Listen, I wasn't expecting to love Girls' Night as much as I did. It was so hilarious.
I didn't see it.
Oh my God, you're
hilarious.
missing a hilarious film.
Mm-hmm.
They do a gross out
Mm-hmm.
comedy that like most guys have been doing forever, but it's with women.
Mhm.
And it was gross,
Mhm.
but it was hilariously
Mhm.
gross. Matter of fact,
Bridesmaids. It's like Bridesmaids, but actually turned up a notch.
yeah, it turned up a notch.
It was turned up a notch. And Bridesmaids started the trend. Girls' Night Out
Yeah.
ran with it.
Yeah. Yep.
They ran with it, and they went over the top. And we've seen guy movies like this all the time, but they've never been. They got tired after a while. To see women going out gross out lane
Yeah.
is hilarious.
It is.
It is
And you know what?
hilarious.
They used male nudity
Mhm.
to hilarious effect.
Yeah, exactly.
Which, most people think that male nudity isn't funny. Or,
Mhm.
I think it's
I think it's hilarious.
it can be hilarious. I actually worked with that guy
Mhm.
who showed himself. I was like, oh, I was just like,
Did he have a large one?
well, obviously he kind of does.
Mhm.
He's height, weight proportionate. That's for sure.
All right.
I like that with Rick.
Yeah, but he's an older guy and very straight,
fine.
very Italian.
Ooh, that's even better.
He's an Italian daddy, I guess.
Mm.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Randy and I will be leaving our information for you.
Thank you.
I don't think his years younger wife or girlfriend would appreciate it.
Then why,
Oh, well.
why would you offer us breakfast and then not serve it to us? What's wrong with you? Here's the platter, but you can't have none.
It is Hollywood though.
Mhm.
He could go gay for pay for the right role.
I'm not paying for it. I'm not ready. I'm not.
for shit.
I'm 51 years old. I'm not ready to start paying.
No,
for
and
stuff.
guess what?
Mm-mm.
Invite a prostitute to your house and see what happens. I know somebody who had some hoes over.
You know what,
over.
Randy?
And the next
Do you
day,
think that is so?
he had another hoe in the house,
Mhm.
and they were in his house without his permission. They had broken in, and they were just chilling on his living room couch watching TV.
I've always felt that guys who pay for escorts fall into a self-loathing category because there are so many guys out there who are looking for a partner to have an intimate sexual life with.
Mhm.
And you're paying for it, and you're just kind of disregarding the whole what's so great about being gay and being, with another man is the intimacy.
Mhm.
Why would you have 5 minutes of intimacy when you can have all of it for a longer amount of time and not pay for it?
Mhm. I had
And
thought
not pay
to-
for it. You could also go to a bookstore. It's off of 45.
Thank you.
They're still open, girl. And if you want to pay for something, just pay the admission of $4. I don't know how much it costs now. I used to go when I was 16. That was a long time ago, girl. Pay $4 or $5. Get up in there, girl, and stick your dick through a glory hole and have a
But
good time.
they got an app for that.
Mhm.
They got an app
They have
for all
plenty
that.
of apps for that.
Oh.
Plenty of apps. I have used some of those apps.
I myself
I
have
did.
not.
I never used the apps because
I'm always
I was
afraid a
looking up
killer's going to come to
online.
my house.
Mhm.
You don't want a killer coming over your
well,
house.
that's why you talk to people for a long
Yeah,
time.
exactly. Yes.
Girl,
I
both
can
do it.
I can figure it out in 20 minutes and I'm good.
Yeah, usually. Well, I guess.
If we need to start having
the
a
devil
conversation-
comes in many forms,
If
and
we
he
need
is
to have-
cunning and beguiling.
If we need to start having conversations,
That's
then-
almost a Bible quote.
Then that's a date, and I'm not
Almost.
looking for a date. I'm just looking for
Some experience.
some stuff, and then
Yeah.
you can go home afterwards. Thank you.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, girl.
And
but
sometimes you just
you
wanna
gotta be
go have
careful. A
somebody-
girl's gotta be careful.
Sometimes you just want to have a human connection.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
everybody needs it every night to feel sexy and loved and all that other stuff.
Yeah, but the
Yeah.
guys who pay for it to me, it's always just kind of made me feel sad.
See, here's the thing. I don't feel sad. I feel
Sad
from
about
talking
what?
to people who used to. I've known several escorts, and they all say the same thing. Half of the time, it's not about the sex. They just want somebody to be with,
Yeah.
and
But
they are
that's
willing to
sad.
pay for it. And
That is sad.
and
That is
they're-
very sad.
But you know what? If it's sad,
Well, that's like that old
all
queen.
it says is to me, if I want something, I'm gonna go get it. If I have to pay for it, that's fine.
We've
That's
all
what
seen
I
that. We've
want,
all
and I'm
seen
going
that
to
old
get it.
guy at the bar paying the stripper dollar after dollar just to talk, haven't we? Think about it. You can see his dick from across the room for free.
But what if you don't have the money, though? I mean, what does a person who doesn't have the money? What do they do?
Sit across the goddamn room for free.
Exactly.
That's my point.
Yeah, sit across the goddamn room because that's all you can do, or save your coins.
Right.
Or that old man could save his damn money. Shit.
When I first moved to Los Angeles, I didn't know. I knew two people, and like almost immediately they were too busy, and I was off on my own. It was me and my dog. So you go on Craigslist, and they had the activity groups. And I mean that in like general, like knitting and roller coaster enthusiasts.
But we don't know. Y'all know. I don't do any of this shit.
But I did. And like,
y'all at home know me.
For my birthday, I was completely alone, and people went with me to Magic Mountain. It was great. And I didn't know any of them. We didn't stay friends, but for the moment, it was really nice.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is.
Well, if y'all are listening in Houston, I'm going to use this as a forum to get it out there. I'm thinking about starting a play group for people who are overweight, and we can just play. We can play hide and seek. We can play freeze tag, Red Rover. Girl, it's all about exercise.
Find somebody who's got a trampoline and have trampoline.
Oh, no, bitch, I'm too big for a goddamn trampoline. And so are the motherfuckers I'm talking about. We can play kickball. We can play flag football. It would be fun. And that's a great way to lose weight.
Of course.
Playing. Just like we used to when we were kids.
Yeah.
So, y'all send Joel something, honey. Some private email, voicemail,
PM,
twat, whatever, and let him know if y'all are interested.
Oh my goodness!
Get on Peg's list, whatever.
Can I say this, Randy? You're 8. How you gonna play kickball, girl? What you gonna?
I can pick a sport. I can do hide and go seek and walk very slowly. Because I am disabled. I do have arthritis, but there are games we played as children. I'll find one of them, hell.
You gotta find a good place with a lot of hiding places.
I know.
Yes.
So
well,
maybe we should go to Detroit.
I live in a community that's very, very woodsy. I do. Where I live is very woodsy, and so maybe we could just do make forts in the woods. Listen. I am trying to create some interest in some alternative to make exercise fun. Exercise sucks.
Here's
it does.
If we could find a way to make it fun, then it wouldn't suck so much.
Can you imagine a bunch of excited, running around, sweating up a little bit,
playing freeze tag, girl.
In the forest. It's going to be sex all over the place. I'm telling you right now.
No, you guys, I'm talking to the lesbians too.
I'm telling you, it's going to be sex all over
lesbians
the place.
and gay men.
Thank you, because if you make this all gay, it's going to be just a sex fest every weekend.
They're not even going to play like Morris and Larry have been hiding for a very long time.
Exactly.
What do you think they're doing?
Exactly. You ain't going to have nobody playing no games. They're going to be in the woods.
Sex games.
I don't live in those kind of woods, girl.
You do live in those.
I live in Republican woods.
You don't be by yourself.
That's especially, you've got more activity in those woods than you think if it's a Republican
You're going to
area.
be by yourself on a pitcher's mound with a kickball.
I'm talking about in Crosby.
All these queens are.
I'm talking about in Crosby, Texas, and you know,
queen.
in Crosby, Texas, they ain't going to play that in Crosby.
I don't know Crosby.
I know gay men in the woods.
Yeah.
or
closeted gay men in the woods.
I know gay men in the woods. That's all I got to say about that. You got to have some ladies.
Yeah, well,
territory.
You see that
Republicans do it in the woods more than anybody else.
Listen, I'm saying that the area that I live in is mostly Republican, and I would be nervous if people were having sex in the woods because they might go to jail.
You live in the Red Forest.
The Red Forest.
Then you're going to be looking for some adventurous gays who want to have sex in the woods.
And then it would be called the Redwood Forest.
Yes.
Redwood Forest.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness.
Well,
So if you gays want to do that, we need to have some lesbians with us.
we can have the lesbians, and who's gonna listen? They're sports. They gotta teach us how to play most of them.
And they have to keep us under control too. Hey, Rick, Alan, where you going? You ain't going into the woods. Get back here and play this goddamn game. You now are not going into the woods.
But I have to go find that ball.
No, I'm not looking for you again.
I didn't bring my glasses, Larry.
Oh, you found the balls the last time I found you in the woods. Get your ass back here now.
Don't be ridiculous. He's not even my type.
Y'all ought to be ashamed. Y'all just destroyed my idea.
We didn't destroy it. I'm just
destroyed.
I'm just giving you a
Just
sense of
filthed it all
reality
up.
here.
Filthed it all up.
It'll start the first couple
Leave
of weeks.
it to you gays to pervert everything. Just pervy.
The first couple of weeks will be good. They'll be out there running
Pervy,
the woods, and then after that,
pervy.
Well, the thing is, I love the lesbians, but they're way too competitive.
They are way too competitive.
That's why.
Blood will be spilled.
That's why, Randy, you have to make sure to be very clear about saying lesbians and gays and not gay men.
I want lesbians and gays. We need lesbians.
Well, we're going under queer now, right?
Mm-hmm.
We are going under queer, and I think that's a really good idea.
I think that's a good idea.
It's a good idea to go under queer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
See, that might be the new revolution, speaking through your voice right there. That little motto. Say it again, because I've already forgotten it.
It's a good idea to go under queer.
Well, guys, this is the end of this episode.
This is the end.
This is the end.
The end, my friend. And
we are at the end of the show, so I want to thank you, David, for being here.
Thanks for
I
having me.
think you're going to be here for, a couple more episodes?
I
maybe?
think so.
Yeah, so David's going to be sticking around with us for a little bit. I'm hoping if you're out there listening to get Hudson on. Hudson, you need to call me because I want you to be a guest host along with me and Randy. So
Hudson, call us.
Call us and let us know. I've already given you my phone number. I found you on Facebook. If I have to hunt you down, I will.
Is he a gay homosexual?
He is a gay homosexual, but he's a young gay.
Well, we need a Hudson.
Hudson what?
Oh, I don't want to say his last name.
Oh, Hudson. Hudson's a great porn name.
Mm-hmm. So, but we ain't going.
Is he porn material?
No, he is not porn. He is a nice young man. He is not porn material.
I don't even know what that means. He's not porn material, but he's a nice young man.
I'm sure he's got a Tumblr or had a
man.
Tumblr account.
He is a nice young man. And
Oh, nice young men make porn, bitch.
So,
All right.
we're out. We'll see y'all later.
Bye, y'all.
Bye. Once again, Joel and Randy Show 1 on Instagram. Our Gmail account is also Joel and Randy Show 1. Reach out on Joel and Randy's Texas Tea. We'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.